live here, and we'll just kind of hang around for a couple minutes and see if give people a chance to come in, and hopefully it will show up where I can see that we went live.
I've told a couple people that I was going live in the time that I got off the phone with you, so.
Let's see, view on watch page. That doesn't look like we're live.
Yeah, it's showing up on my laptop.
Is it? Okay. Let me readjust here. I need to put it down here where I can see a little better. Put this over here where I can see the chat. All right. We got Wicked Twin, Sir Dave, Time to Stand, and on and on and on and on. I'm not going to try to go through everybody. All right. So they took your camera, so we're here live. And he wanted to get y'all updated on what happened because he knew y'all were waiting to find out. And so we got him here to tell everybody with his own words. Munkay 83, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Well, I'm just going to open it up to you, and you tell your story, okay?
All right. So you guys know I got arrested today. I don't know what everybody's been told from what I've heard. Everybody seems to think that I went down there to file a complaint and I got arrested for that. That's not the case. What happened was I went down there to file a complaint, yes, but on my way to file the complaint, there is a parking garage on the way there. Last week I did a video at that parking garage, and there was a security guard who didn't like it. So I went to go film him again. He didn't like me being there. He went in to get there's a little police precinct in there. So he went in there to get a couple cops that were in there. You all know how I am, so I followed right behind him. And mind you, this is a public parking garage. You know, everybody has public access. So I go in there and I listen to him, tell him that I'm harassing him and I'm bothering him and all this and all that. So he comes out, and the two cops come out right after. And we're standing on the sidewalk. The cops are telling me that if I'm not there for any purpose, then they're going to trespass me. And I told them that I can't be trespassed. I'm on a public sidewalk. This is public access. This is owned by the city of Lowell. Therefore, I have every right to be there if I'm filming. If they don't like it, they can get over it. Have a nice day. And I told them, you're dismissed. You're dismissed. Well, they start walking in.
We lost your audio.
Inside that little precinct, and I go to follow him in there too. They stop me, tell me that I'm trespassing. I tell them, no, I'm not. This is a public precinct. I'm allowed to be here. I'm allowed to film. You guys are in the course of your duties. Therefore, if you're going to arrest me, arrest me. And they arrested me. Is pretty much what it was. They took my cameras. I sat in the jail cell for about 6 hours. And they said in a couple days, I'll quote unquote have my cameras back. When that's done, hopefully they didn't delete anything. Hopefully they left all my data on there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what happened.
Well, you told me that they did not write down or mark down that your cards were in there.
Oh yeah, they so when I was leaving, I read the slips. That's not it. Where is it? I was reading the receipts for the gear that they took from me, and I noticed that they didn't put the SD cards that were inside my cameras on there. So I asked the sergeant in front of his lieutenant if they would take the time and actually write the 2 SD cards on the slip, and the lieutenant refused right there. He said he wouldn't do it. So they took my Cam Park Extreme, that's my body cam, my Cam Park Extreme UHD 4K camera, and my Canon Vixia HR50 with the stabilizing rig that I had on there. And the official charges that they're getting me for is trespass and resisting arrest. My My court date is Monday at 8:30. And yeah, I posted my own bail, which was cheap.
Well, we had
But-
a couple people ready to help you out, and I'm glad you didn't need it. That you got out of there without having to go through all the extra hassle of having somebody
Yeah.
come down there.
Well, supposedly, Penny News did go down there. He made it down there, and they told him that I bailed myself out, which he lives 45 minutes from Lowell. So for him to drive down there, that's absolutely amazing. I hope he's in this live stream. I hope he sees this. For that, I'm gonna say thank you. My roommate also was called by Time to Stand, and he also went down and tried to bail me out, but they wouldn't let him bail me out. They kept on telling everybody that I'm taking care of myself, all this and all that. So that's because when I went in there, I had $60 in my pocket, and when they were running through, they found that and they said, "Oh well, at least you can bail yourself out, unlike most of these people."
Well, you know, a lot of people were asking today. I mean, it was all over the place, all in messages all over the place, that so many auditors are getting arrested right now. And, you know, I attribute that to because there's so many auditors now compared to what there was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there may be other reasons, but I think you have annoyed them to the point where that bear is tired of getting poked.
Oh, well, it's funny that you bring that up, because last week when I was out filming, I ran into a cop who he was professional. We'll give him that. Whether he was a good cop, we can't say, but he was professional, and he had a one-on-one talk to me like a man. And part of this conversation, I asked him, as a general consensus, how am I looked at within the department? And he says, "Well, you're a general annoyance." And I was just like, "Well, you understand why I do it, right?" And he says, "Oh yeah, I understand why you do it, but there's certain ones in there that are itching and they're waiting, and should have had that hint."
Yeah, well, we've had many auditors go through that. There's a degree of bad cop, and the worst ones are just itching to find something to get us on, especially the ones that are the most active and that catch them doing the worst stuff. They don't like it at all.
It was funny too, because the cops were actually pretty good up to the point where we were in the lobby, and he took a step towards me, and I told him, if you plan on assaulting me, fucking just know I've made Conroy look bad. I have no problem making you look just as bad. And that's when his whole demeanor changed. That's when he pretty much said, "You're being arrested. Turn around."
Yeah, well, hopefully they don't delete your footage, but you might go after their footage indoors if they had any cameras inside.
Oh, I plan on it. I'm going back Monday, and I'm gonna go with a FOIA request to the that actual building right there.
Cool. Well, hopefully you'll have proof. Whatever they do, hopefully you'll have proof because we know they're not above destroying evidence. We've seen it many times before.
Well, no. See, when I went in there for Conroy, they didn't even want to look at the footage. They didn't care. They just boom, dismiss. We want nothing to do with it. And that is partly because of you guys. Every person that called in, it turned out there was about 33,000 phone calls to Lowell PD when the Conroy video came out. And that was my very first video. To have that much support, to be a nobody and have that much support from people, it takes you back. It really does.
Well, it's only going to get better, I think, because we got so many more people coming in, and there'll be ones that'll be out, getting after it with the videos, and there'll be more like me that get out there sometimes, but work behind the scenes a lot. By the way, hopefully I'll be out there a lot more soon, and I think the support will just get better, and at least that's what I'm hoping. But there's something else I wanted to touch on, because I put the video out there asking for no flood calls. And I know people don't want to use that call, but right now that's the term everybody knows. And I wanted to make sure everybody knew what I meant. So I asked for no flood calls because I felt like this was a minor trumped up bullshit, and I didn't understand exactly what was going on. All I had was trespass. So I figured it would be a low bail and not a bunch of fuss if they didn't get mad and try to do even more. At that time, I didn't know they got you for God, it slipped my mind. Resisting.
Yep.
But still, only $40. You got out there with, I think it might have been worse. So I think we did the right thing. But the point I'm getting to is, people are asking me why not to, and that's why not to, because unless, to me, all right, this is my feelings, unless the auditor, if he's running live stream, unless that auditor asked, like Bunny Boots said today, for a tyrant alert, right, then I'm not going to do it. All right, let the lawyers or other auditors that get behind the scenes and do make a few phone calls, let them get in there and do their thing and see if they can help out. And if that doesn't help, then we come in with the tyrant alerts. I know we can't stop everybody from doing it, but hopefully it helped. We'll never really know, but hopefully it helped and we handle it properly this time.
I do agree. I think we did handle it properly this time. And I mean, I've participated in a couple call floods myself and stuff like that. If there had been a call flood, it wouldn't have bothered me. I would have gladly sat in jail all weekend. just knowing that, it would have been worth it for that. But I do appreciate everything that everybody has done. Steve, you doing this for me. I know I said it to you in the background. I'm going to say it in front of everybody. Thank you. Time to Stand, he answered my phone call. He was the one phone call I had. He answered it. He was able to get the ball rolling and let everybody know what was going on.
Yeah, he called me right away.
Yep. He told me. He told me. And most importantly, I'd like to thank everybody else. When I got out of there, I had about 50 text messages and phone calls and voicemails. And let me tell you, I was in there for 6 hours. I had a nice 4-hour nap, but the other 2 hours was just like, all right, are they going to keep me all weekend or are they going to let me out tonight? They were saying they're going to let me out tonight, but they can lie, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, at least now you get to enjoy your weekend instead of sitting around a damn jail cell.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
You want to answer any questions?
Yeah. I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see what they got in the chat.
Yeah, we'll give them a chance, and if they want to ask you a couple of questions, we'll go that way for a few minutes, and if not, we'll just call it an evening, unless there's something else to talk about.
Yeah. One-Eyed Fox says I didn't call him. I had one call, Fox. One call.
I wasn't thinking Fox is feeling left out. It's okay, Fox. You're okay. It's all right. We still love you.
Oh. Actually, Fox even made a video for me, so I gotta give props for that. Everybody that did an update or whatever, I really do appreciate all that. I really, really do.
I'm just looking through to see if there's any questions. Unless I've missed some, I haven't seen any specific question yet. But it's going by so fast, I might have missed it. What were the charges? Go over what the charges were again, real quick.
Oh, the charges were trespassing and friggin' resisting arrest. And that was being in a public place, like I was on the sidewalk. So
One-Eyed Fox is asking to come into the conversation here on Zoom.
I don't know. That's up to you, man.
Well, if you want to hang around and talk for a little while, I'll add him in. If not, it depends on how much time you got.
Yeah, I got all the time in the world, man. I got to wait till court on Monday, so I'm not going anywhere.
All right, let me send him a message here.
I noticed that Solus Productions asked what my setup was, and I had a Canon Vixia HRF 50 on a 7-oak mic rig and a Cam Park 4K UHD external body cam.
And they didn't write down your cards were in there, right?
No, and they didn't write my cards were in there. I had a 32 gig in the Canon and a 64 gig in the Cam Park.
Let me check so you got the right number I'm sending him, because sometimes this thing, I push the wrong buttons. All right, I sent it to him. But I'll have to warn him when he gets here. I'm in charge here, damn it. You can't try to take charge. Talk all night, damn it. I love it, but he likes to talk, which is okay, you know. Oh, Wicked Twin is there, and VB all out. Solus Production. Hey, Solus, long time no see. News Now Alaska.
News Now Alaska asked if I have camera equipment and gear, or did they take everything? They took everything, News Now Alaska. They took everything but my phone. And they refused to acknowledge that I had SD cards in any of them. So we're going to see how that goes out. But, yeah, that's pretty much the...
Well, that was something we were talking about earlier. We got... And this is my feelings, and my feelings only that I'm putting out there. I personally think YouTube's being used too much for live streams, but we don't have a choice right now, so that's okay. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. We need to find something, and it's too easy for the cops to see. We're still looking for different ways to use some live streams that are easy and you can set up. Some of them are difficult, but man, don't go out without a live stream or something, you know, especially live stream, because we know they like to keep the damn cards, and we know they like to mess with evidence. So
that brings up my next thing is I was on YouTube probation until March 28th, so I can't live stream.
That's what we were talking. You know, I'm talking about. I've been experimenting with you now. And, we got like Discord and Twitch and stuff that there's some experimenting going with that Bunny Boots is working with. You know, I'm just going to use you now for time being, because I can hook it up to a couple other places and I can run it live and it'll save the videos in several different places. But I'm still experimenting with it. So One-Eyed Fox is in the house.
What's up, One-Eye?
He got his Ducat on. Hello. He's still getting set up. All right. I'm not going to say that. Time to stand. We'll have to see the live stream for that.
All right, there you go.
There he is.
Listen, I just wanted to jump in here as a beard brother of Munkay. I wanted to say, brother, I was worried as shit about you today.
Everybody was, man. I got flooded with texts and calls and emails.
The moment I have a cop that's close to you in Munkay. Munkay, he knows who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You and I can talk about this privately. That's fine. I dropped your name, you know, and I had him go search why the fuck you were arrested, because at the time we didn't know why you were arrested. And I want you to know that we got your back that hard. I mean, that scared the shit out of me. You and I had a conversation earlier this week, and it got us a little bit closer as far as veteran status. I called my buddy immediately, and I'm like, look, you need to pull me a favor. You need to go find out why the fuck he was arrested. Go get me my shit. Go give me my intel. And he'll do it, because he's one of those good cops. And I'm glad you're safe. I'm pissed, dude. I'm mad pissed with what's going on now with the video that's going on here in North Carolina. You getting arrested, Pink getting arrested. You know, we had Bunny Boots arrested earlier this week. What the fuck?
And News Now Houston held for 3 hours for bullshit.
Exactly. This is bullshit.
And
what the fuck?
James today, Border Patrol.
James got hit by the Border Patrol today.
Yeah, the internal Border Patrol checkpoint. So I liked what he did. He crawled to the back of the truck, laid down in the bed, and just waited for him.
That was funny as shit. I can't say it's not comical. I mean, but Monkey, brother, I'm glad you're safe. I really am. And you know, yes, I understand. I joked around in the chat earlier. I said, "Oh, you didn't call me." No shit, you didn't call me. No duh. You got to call the man in charge. And I mean, I just want you to know, brother. I was here for you. Everything I was doing, I dropped every fucking thing. I told the kids to go the fuck away. Go do your play. Go play. Go play. Get the hell out of my face. You know, my battle buddy needs me, and that's what we all are. All of you in the chat. I'm watching PMP's chat right now. We're all battle buddies. If we don't watch out for each other, I love everything that everybody has done. It's amazing, and I'm glad that everybody had the same type of support. What you could or could not do for Monkey, that meant a lot to me, because Monkey and I have a bond, right? Do we not have a bond, Monkey?
We do.
We do. We do have a little bond.
We do.
We do. I'm pretty sure we do.
Well, no, dude. I really do appreciate everything you're saying, man. Like, when I was walking home, I had called TTS in jail. When I was walking home, I called him, taking a stand, and we were talking about everything that happened. And then when I came in here, I called a couple other people, and then I started. I signed on my laptop, and I saw that you did a fucking live stream. I was about to call you, but Steve called me back, and because he had texted me while I was in, and you know, we started talking a little bit, and he asked me if I wanted to get a meeting out there, or you know, if I needed time to edit my video, and I told him, well, I don't have any video, so he said, let's do a meeting right now. So you know, calls aren't done being made yet, people. I know that there's a couple in there that have been saying that. Don't worry, I'll be calling people.
Well, and that's the thing is that's where I think we're you know, like, this goes back with the call flood thing. We watched what happened with Bunny Boots Inc. in a massive call flood, and it made more damage than good. I mean, granted, you know, Bunny Boots is a god as far as the auditing world is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, and you know, somebody like Monkey and I, you know, I mean, Monkey lives in Massachusetts. Let me tell you about Massachusetts, because I know about what Massachusetts laws are. I have a cop that has actually interacted with Monkey, and that's the other thing I'll talk to you about personally, Monkey. You've actually interacted with one of my best friends. Is that in Massachusetts, when you get arrested, like in a small charge like Monkey was arrested with, it is a $40 bail. Bail myself out. Here's $40. I'll see you on the next court date, which would be being a Friday. He's got to show up Monday at 8:30. I'll talk to you about personally. So Massachusetts is kind of cool like that, but at the same time, they're dickheads like that. You know, and that's where Monkey got lucky, is we didn't all have to pull together. Thank God Monkey had $60 in his fucking pocket, and he was able to get himself out.
Such language, you heard
That's
in my
luck.
ears.
Oh yeah, old man. All right, old man Rivers. That's how I roll.
Hey, well, I know.
Go ahead.
Maybe
I'm out.
We'll see how long they keep his stuff, and maybe we'll have to see if we can help you out there.
And I'm going to find out about that too. Like I said, I have my connection in Massachusetts. We are going to find out very shortly. I'm hoping by tomorrow evening I can find out how long they're going to keep his shit. And again, that's something Monkey and I are going to have to talk about, and me and my contact. But Monkey's shit should be secure, because once I get my contact to get involved with the situation, they're going to slow their fucking roll. Because once they realized that Munkay 83 is a fucking wounded veteran, and he was going up there for no harm whatsoever, I have so many contacts in the Northeast. Munkay's going to be fine. Munkay's shit will be secure. We will make sure that happens by all of us.
I don't know what's going on, but we're getting a really loud noise.
I don't know what that's. I hear a lot of squeaking.
I hear a lot of squeaking too.
All right.
I don't hear anything.
Well, it's probably you making the noise then.
Anyways, I want to jump in here if I could for a second. Munkay, when you made the decision to call me, that was such an honor, man. And I really want to thank you very much for, calling me, man. You have no idea what that meant when you made me your first call. I love you, brother. And after I got off the live stream and stuff, which I should have called P&P first, but I didn't. I got the live stream out there, and then I called P&P and stuff, and that really meant a lot to me for you to call me, man. I mean, that's all I wanted to say to everybody out there. It really meant a lot, brother. Thank you.
Well, hey, and here's my point, and I'll make this, not to be selfless or selfish or whatever, is the only reason I have, and my phone is like, if you all were to see my phone right now, like the way I see my phone right now, I see half the fucking screen. I don't get any notification. My phone is so fucked up. I don't get any notifications. I just happen to look down, and I'm like, oh, I see it blinking. Why is it blinking? Nothing's going on. And I saw that Time on the Stand went live, and all I saw was Munkay 83 arrested. Whoa. I mean, if everybody knows who I am, knows I got the 4 rascals running around mad like crazy, and I'm like, yo, get the hell out of my way. My entire attention has been put to Munkay's security and making sure he is safe all night long. That's all I give a shit about. I mean, I love don't get that. Don't twist that. I love my boys. My oldest is squaring everything away. But when it comes to you guys, I had a whole plan. I had an evening plan for Silent Citizen and Munkay. I had a freaking plan tonight, and Munkay, you screwed it up. God damn it! I mean, seriously, you screwed it up.
Is that little corner in your beard right there? That's not.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You know you're gonna go to Laurel on Monday with your weird beard, right?
Here we go with the beard.
Here it goes.
Hold on.
You're done.
You see that even growth right there? Look at that.
Even growth.
That shadow? You mean that shadow? The shadow, Munkay? I see a shadow, bro. That's all I see.
Listen, Mario.
I see a shadow, bro.
All right, so everyone, here real quick, for those that don't know, Silent Citizen, Munkay 83, and One-Eyed Fox, the bear challenge ends on Tuesday. This Tuesday.
Thursday.
And
the 15th, buddy.
The 14th, motherfuckers. You can't even get the date right.
No,
it's the 14th.
Listen.
The 14th.
We did it originally on the 13th.
No, it's the 14th.
Listen, no. Well, then
30 days. 30 days is the 14th. It's on my calendar.
Yeah, but One Eye, listen. There's 28 days.
I think we should get Silent in here if we're gonna argue about that, because I don't think it's right for Silent not to say his piece about this, because
it doesn't matter. He's gonna win. It's between Munkay and I. It's between Munkay and I. It doesn't even matter. Silent's freaking gonna win this shit.
We just use Silence to challenge out there. You know what I mean?
It doesn't even matter. Silent's gonna win. It doesn't even matter. What do we care?
Landry, I see your I was laughing at your comment.
No, it was really a trip, Munkay, because when I finally got a chance to make my phone call, I told you this on the phone, but I want to let everybody else out there that's watching. When I finally got a chance to make my call, and I got a lady dispatcher on the phone, and I told her, I says, this is a friend of you, and I want to see how much the bail is, so we can bail him out. She's all like, oh, he's fine, he can take care of himself, and she was really rude. And there's some
Honey
and
Boots
she
is in the
actually hung
house,
up.
man, in the chat.
So then what happened was, after that, a few minutes later, I got a call from, Massachusetts on my phone, and they're all like, "Is this Richard?" I'm all like, "Yeah.
Oh,
Can I
damn.
help you?" And he's all like, "This is a sergeant from Lowell Police Department, and I'm just calling to let you know that your friend's bail is $40, and he's gonna bail himself out." And I'm all like, I'm trying to think, why in the hell, how in the hell could he freaking know my name?
Well,
I know
here's
I
the thing.
called for my number. I didn't block it
Yeah,
this time,
exactly.
but
That's exactly
then
what you did. You didn't
I
block.
didn't block the number, so I know how they got my number. But I was trying to figure out how in the hell to get my name. But when Munkay called me, he's like, "Yeah, he's seen your name, through my phone and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's how it was." So, it was pretty amazing that the sergeant actually called me back to let me know that he's fine and he's going to bail himself out. So that was pretty amazing itself with a sergeant, and then I called the number right back to make sure it was them, but the sergeant wouldn't even give me his name. That tripped me out right there. But that was pretty
How
awesome.
long ago was that?
Sergeant actually called me.
Hey,
Well,
California Citizen Watch is asking, can we talk about call floods? I don't know if you
Yes.
missed it, but we already talked about it. But if anybody has anything more to add,
Well, all right.
see, that's the thing is that I want to bring up too, because P&P, when you did that live stream, you're talking about that. Yeah, I totally agreed with that, because, and I was putting it out there on live streams, as far as even when Pod did a live stream and stuff. Do not call, because we want the right people to get through to do the talking. Now, if we're doing flood calls, and I said it even like with Bunny Boots' situation, they couldn't get through. Now, even though these were bullshit charges on Munkay and stuff like that, we wanted at least the right people to get through to do the talking. So that's what I even said on my live stream myself, is that for that reason, we're going to put basically a stop to these flood calls, outright until the right time.
and I'm sure.
So I totally agree with.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, PP.
I'm
Go ahead,
sure
PP.
when we ask for no call floods, there's still going to be people that call, but at least
Well,
the volume is not so bad that whoever needs to get through to try to lend a hand can get through and is listened to, or not just hung up on. But
here's
the other night
here's what I got.
Just a minute. Bunny Boots even said that the flood call hurt him in one way and helped him in another, he thinks. So, but he asked for the tyrant alert. So, but like I said,
Exactly. I agree. I agree entirely.
Yeah,
He asked for it.
If you're live streaming, then we know what's going on. We know where you're at, and you can say whether you want whatever it is you want.
Like, I have something in the works. Coming next month, in the beginning of the first week or so of April. Only a select a few know what's going on. I'm not going live on it unless there's a severe problem.
Yeah.
And those that are going on with it, we all agree to this. And it's not just because we want to hide something from everybody, but because where we're going and what we're doing is, we don't want the call floods because it could hurt us, where we're going. Yep. I mean, there is a double-edged sword. And, there's only going to be a specific amount of people that know what our real names are, where we're going, what we're doing. And I'm sorry, I'm shaking as fuck because it's only fucking 57 degrees outside. Jesus Christ. But we're gonna do some things that, when somebody says tyrant alert, you're thinking, oh my God, this guy got the beat. My personal first thought is, time to stand got his ass beat. That's my first thought. That's a tyrant alert.
Yeah.
Or somebody has been detained for, some bullshit reason. As far as there's been a huge escalation to an issue that shouldn't have been an issue. That's a tyrant alert. Just because somebody wants to, disregard our rights, you know, and throw them out the window. That doesn't call for a tyrant alert. It doesn't call for a call flood. What Bunny Boots Inc. went through today or this week, what Pink went through, or Pink Magic went through today, what Munkay went through today, to me, that's a tyrant alert. But at the same time, we have to know who our selected people are to go, hey, we need to go ahead. Munkay, you're not able to say whether or not you can or can't call. You know, that's where you're calling time to stand. Time to stand. We need a call, or Munkay, can you handle this? Can you handle if fucking 8,000 people call this police station? Are you going to be able to handle if they call and all of a sudden your bail gets raised? Well, I mean, that's something that we all need to make sure we understand.
Well, I want to jump in here, and I'm going to give you all a little bit of history, because this goes back to when there wasn't a bunch of us, okay? And we were using the early days of using the other live stream. Shit, I can't think of the name of it now.
Bambuser?
Bambuser, yeah.
Bambuser.
All right. If you noticed in the early days, our call floods were after the fact, after it was over, a day or two later,
right,
or 3 or 4. All right. And we would wait till like a Monday after. And if it happened on a Friday evening or Saturday or Sunday, we'd especially wait till Monday, because we wanted to make sure they were open and that everybody was someplace where they could call when that time hit, that they were open. All right. And but we were live streaming to very few people, so very few people would see what happened, and then they just waited for us. You know, maybe a few phone calls from me, but they would wait for us to put out a tyrant's alert or say whatever it is we were going to do. And so it wasn't a big deal. But now that everybody's going live, where everybody sees it, it's gone just crazy. And that's maybe not.
Right.
I don't know if that's the proper word.
No, that is the right answer.
If I could, One Eye Fox for a second. Hey, Munkay, I want to get your opinion on this. I mean, this is thing was all about you and what happened to you tonight. How do you feel about when you had called me, because you really didn't tell me on the phone if you wanted a flood call. You just wanted to get things set up out there. Now, what's your take on this whole aspect of, like, when you called me, you didn't tell me. What did you actually want done when you called me? What was your expectation?
I wanted it known where I was. I wanted people to know that I was locked up. I wanted the right people to know that I was locked up, and I tried getting as much information as I could before they took the phone out of my hand. Because that's literally what it was. He saw me going through the phone, give you the numbers that I gave you, because I told them I didn't memorize any numbers purposely, so I could go in there, find the one number that I needed, and scroll down real quick to find the other number. You know what I mean? Then realized what I was doing. He walked up and grabbed the phone, and that's when I tried giving you everything I could before he took it away. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was honestly leaving it up to the powers that be, meaning as if you guys, how you guys were going to do it, because there wasn't anything I can do. I wasn't live. They had my cameras. I knew I wasn't getting my cameras back. So with that being said, I knew that if I called you being the level-headed one that you are, would call the right people and say, hey, this is what's going on. We're going to do some updates, you know what I mean? And you'd be able to talk to people. Now, if a call flood had happened, like I said earlier, we laughed about it, but I was dead serious when I said I would have sat in jail knowing that you guys had my back and you were pissing them the fuck off in my name.
Well, I mean, as much as that's great to hear, Battle, I mean, I'm sorry, I couldn't. I mean, dude, the moment that I heard you were in jail, okay, I got a hold of my buddy. I don't know specifically what district this Massachusetts, my buddy is out of in Massachusetts, but he knows where Lowell is. He has buddies there. I had his ass online because he's one of those good this motherfucker has turned in several bad cops.
That's pretty awesome, One Eye Fox. It's awesome that when we got the word out there, about Munkay being arrested, and You know, I do want to give a bunch of shout outs right now if we could. You know, number
Oh,
one, I mean,
absolutely.
freaking, you know, PNP,
Before you
man.
do the shout outs and stuff like that, a
Go
bunch of
ahead.
people are asking about what happened. So could I just go over the details real quick?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
you
go for it,
can't.
Munkay. This is all you, Munkay. It's all you, man.
So pretty much what happened is, you know, Time to Stand had said in his live stream that I was going down to file a complaint against an officer that I witnessed reading a magazine in her car earlier today. Hilarious video, by the way. So I was on my way down there, but on the way down there is the parking garage where I filmed one of the security guards last week. So I went back there to do a follow up, and you know, I seen the security guard sitting there, and I said his name, let him know that I was there filming him again. You know what I mean? And he went to go get the walked in the precinct that's in the parking garage, and told him that I was harassing him. I followed him in there and listened to him tell him, you know, what he was saying. When he walked out, I walked out. He was my story at that point. Then the police came out, told me I couldn't be where I was, which I was on a public access. And they told me that I was trespassing. He showed me a sign that says you know, no trespassing. And I told him, okay, I'm not trespassing. I have purpose to be here. I haven't damaged anything. I haven't caused any harm to anybody. So I can be here filming. I can go anywhere I want on this. This is publicly owned. He didn't like that. I dismissed him. He didn't like that. Him and his partner go to walk back in, saying that if I go back in there, you know, I'll be trespassing. I said, okay, trespass me. And I followed him back in there. And they went to go close the precinct door on me yet again. So I put my foot in the door and told them, you can't lock me out. I'm a member of the public. You know what I mean? We have every right to be here. What the fuck is wrong with you? You guys need to learn the Constitution. At that point, he started telling me they were going to trespass me. I didn't know what the trespassing law was. I said, yes, you need to give me 3 written trespassing warnings before you can arrest me. He says, no, I've already told you twice. This is the 3rd time. Now you're under arrest. Then he put his hand behind my back. The resisting charge came from, because I had my camera he grabbed my left hand. I had my camera in my right hand. And I had my camera straight out in front of me as he's pushing me up against the wall. He went to go grab my right hand, and like he was snapping it down, and I didn't want to lose my camera. And that's when he said, stop resisting. And I said, I'm not resisting. I have my camera in my hand. Let me put it on the ground, and I will gladly put my hand behind my back. And he says, fine, put your camera on the ground. And as I'm putting it on the ground, he snatches it out of my hand. He goes to shut it off. I tell him, you can't shut it off. So, you know, you have to keep it recording. You know, then he threw the cuffs on. They kept it recording. We went all the way to the parking lot. We were waiting for the paddy wagon to show up. And his sergeant came, and he's the one who actually shut the camera off. So that's pretty much how it all went. Oh, they took my cameras. They kept the cameras. And they refused to acknowledge that I had 2 SD cards within the cameras. So that's pretty much the story.
Well, there was something else I wanted to touch on, and then I think we're going to call it an evening here because I got some other phone calls I got to make. But
yeah, me too.
Cool.
When you can, don't go alone. And I know that doesn't work all the time. I know some people do this a lot more than others, or they have different schedules and they can't get with anybody else. So they go when they can. But when you can, go alone. Don't go alone. When you can, live stream. When things start to look bad, when you can, make sure somebody at least knows where you're at and when to expect you back, so we have some kind of idea. And if you are with somebody, I would suggest y'all stand far enough apart where you can each cover each other from head to toe, because this came up in a conversation earlier on on Bunny Boots. When you can, I think it was Bunny Boots, the cops like to step up on you, and then your camera can't see what's going on. And so if they do something to you, then they can say you did it to them. But if there's another person with a camera and they catch from head to toe what's going on, then it makes them a lot harder. And let that second person ID themselves if they have to stay out of jail, so they can get that video out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I entirely agree.
You know, I don't understand this whole you know, not IDing thing. I mean, if the cop comes up and he says, you know, I have reason to articulate position, blah blah blah, ID, but do it on your fucking terms. That's what people aren't understanding about this.
Well, that's your decision. That is the individual auditor's decision when to ID and when not to ID, because they're the ones that get paid the price. And we've seen some of the best auditors out there, or the most well-known auditors out there. Maybe they've got to be someplace that they have to be in a little while, and something put themselves in that position. All of a sudden now they can't miss being wherever it is they got to be, so they go ahead and ID. That's up to them. That is totally up to the individual auditor.
And that's exactly right. That goes with everything that we've been saying for the past, we've seen in the past week. We've seen a lot of different auditing styles that have caused some chaos in the field of what is and what is not right, as far as law enforcement and auditing, and that those two sides coming together, that it's not up to one individual to decide. What is important is the message gets across in the appropriate way. That's how I feel. And I mean, Munkay, you and I are going to talk in the next, hopefully, little bit, whatever you want to define that is. But look, I have a huge plan set here in North Carolina. It scares the shit out of me what I'm going to do. But you know what? PMP News, Time to Stand. It's not that I don't trust them. There are a few others, but we have a plan. Just like when the plan was made for when WAMPs and Time to Stand went down to freaking the border. Okay, they had backup, quote backup. Okay, everybody needs a backup plan. Okay, if you're a first timer, if you're not out there, if you're out there by yourself for the first time, play it safe. Don't be getting out there and being all asshole like. I mean, when I say asshole, like I'm being aggressive. Okay, I guess when I say asshole, like I mean being aggressive. Okay, because we love you, we're going to support you, but at the same time, it's something that you got to make sure you're concrete on. And guys like the PMP News. I mean, God, this guy has every fucking piece of personal information of mine. When I go down next month, when I say that, when I go down, and this has already been confirmed, PMP News is the one that's holding the reins for me. Okay, I did this on purpose.
Well, Fox, if I could jump in for a minute, I mean,
yes,
Munkay, if you can, if you agree with this or not, whether you're seasoned or not doing this, whether you go out with backup or not, whether you're a first timer or not, you can be seasoned as much as you can out there. There's been people's been doing it for years. I mean, let's take News Now Houston, but it doesn't really matter if you're seasoned or not. If you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit. I mean, a tyrant's going to be a tyrant, whether they're going to arrest you or not. So you can have all the backup you want, and things are still going to happen. Like the bridge incident. Yeah, we had our backup out there, but we still got pushed off that bridge and got assaulted and stuff. We had 5 guys out there. So with that being said, I mean, you can be seasoned, you can have your backup, but things can always still happen.
No, absolutely right. You're absolutely correct.
But the one thing I'm going to bring up on this is that.
Did we lose him?
Make sure that your safety comes first. Number one.
Exactly right. You're absolutely correct. Safety
so Munkay, if you can jump in and give your point of view on that real fast for PMP.
Go ahead.
What's your
Munkay, go ahead and jump in there, and then we're going to call it a night.
Yeah. You're 100% right. Safety is the most important thing when you're out there. Safety for yourself. They say officer safety, but essentially, yes, officer safety is important for everybody, because if they feel safe, then you're going to be safer. All these people that want to go out there and start filming. Bunny Boots touched on it the other night, and he said it perfectly. If you're gonna go out and start doing this, start cop watching. You just stand on the side of the road, you keep your mouth quiet, and you learn. You learn how these people react, and then you can start the evolution of going into other things and getting more people. You know, that's the best way to do it. Going out alone, I mean, it's not that smart. It's not that smart right now. They're stepping up the game. You know what I mean? So you're gonna go out alone. There's a different aspect of danger. You don't have that person covering your back. You know what I mean? And if you do have somebody, it's good not to bunch up on each other. You know, Fox, you can verify this. You know, people bunch up, boom. You know what I mean? You don't see everything. You know, everybody's all spread out. Everything is more visible. It's just easier. Everything flows better. And I mean, you can be the most prepared person in the world, and there will always be that one element that comes about and throws everything out of whack. Everything.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
Exactly.
I want to add in one more thing, and then we're gone. When you are out there
All right.
and you don't want ID and you get rid of all your everything on you, keep some damn money on you in case you need to grab a ride. All right. If you need to jump on a bus, or if you need to go someplace and sit for a couple of hours and have some water or something to drink, always carry cash on you. I have a little wallet. It's got two things in it. It's got a card that has FU on it, and it's got money. All right. So if they open that, they're going to see that I got money, and they're going to see my little message to them. All right. That you keep with you all the time. And that's your little, and just get used to keeping it. So when you get out of the car and you take everything else out, you don't forget that you got, there's your little money. So, All right, guys. Munkay, One-Eyed Fox, time to stand. Thanks for being here. Munkay, I'm glad you're out. I'm glad you're going to enjoy the weekend at home and not over the weekend at your little resort up there. So,
hey, Monkey, can we talk this evening or here shortly?
Yeah.
If you want to do a private conversation with whoever you want to bring in, but I definitely don't want to have a private conversation with you.
All right, now, I'm sure I missed some stuff in the chat. I'm sorry. It just gone by too quick. So,
hey, you know what? That's what the moderators are for, Steve. That's what the moderators are for.
Well, at least our little friend didn't show
All right,
up.
peace out, y'all.
The captain didn't show up tonight, raising hell.
That's all right. Time to stand. Hey,
I
time to
love
stand.
meat.
This
I love meat.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks for being
pretty
here.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Everybody in the chat, good night. Thanks for being here.
Thank
Peace
you all.
out, Munkay. Peace out, guys. Love y'all.
Steve, thanks for doing this.
Hey, you're welcome.
I appreciate it, everyone. I really, really do. So, have a good night, everyone. Thanks. Oh, Vlogs is on there.
That Virginian vagina. Can I say that out loud now that we're not online?
Well, we're not. We're still live. I got to get over here to the screen.
Oh shit! Oh, there you go.